When the week feels long and the skies turn gray, the sports bar's warmth makes the worries sway. Ships half eaten, laughter fades in the air, but we hold on a moment to treasure so rare. We'll laugh through the tears as the night unfolds, creating memories like stories retold. Ooh, ooh. Raise your glasses high, let's make a toast to friends and good vibes, that's what we love most. With games on the screen and snacks on the side, at the sports bar we gather, let the fun be our guide. As the jukebox plays, familiar tunes start to play. Each note, a reminder of friends who couldn't stay. The wind's gone cold, but we savor the vibe in the heart of the night, where spirits revive. So here's to the past and the friends we've known. In this funky bar, we'll never be alone. Raise your glasses high, let's make a toast to friends and good vibes, that's what we love most. With games on the screen and snacks on the side, at the sports bar we gather, let the fun be our guide. As the night fades out and the lights grow dim, we'll carry this joy through thick and thin.
Hey, hello. Welcome to On the Swivel at the Sports Bar. This is our Payne here, and this is the second season of this sports show. And listen, some of my buddies might come up or they might not, but I have a full slate of things for you anyway. We're going to talk about it and have some fun. I kind of try to change some format, so I'm going to be bouncing around with this thing and, just trying to get a little bit better. As you notice, I changed the color scheme from last season. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. We're going to have some fun today. So who doesn't like talking about sports? So here's a disclaimer, okay, because we're going to use some content from other creators. So fair use. All right, so let's get started. We're going to always talk about football first. Of course, we're in the middle of the season, and this is week 13, and it's the last game of the third quarter, if you will, right? Since it's an odd number of games, so next week, starting week 14, that's the last 4 games of the season, right? So it's a lot of stuff, a lot of football coming, but the playoff picture is starting to come into fruition. All right, so last week, actually, there were no upsets last week. I looked through the schedules, looked through Red Zone Channel. I don't think we could say any games were really upsets last week. At least not. I mean, if you were betting and you were betting against like the lines and stuff like that, you might call that an upset. But I'm talking about head to head. I think the games kind of worked out. They were so closely matched for a lot of them. I didn't see any upsets last week. So there you go. Not even Philly and the Ravens. I think Philly was probably favored anyway, because the Ravens aren't playing that well, if you ask me, especially in games that really matter. So it's going to be interesting for those guys down the stretch, because they are not really playing great football. So I don't know if you could classify that they took a step back, but maybe. All right, so what I have for you, I'm going to have to stop sharing for a second, and we're going to explore Stephen's A-list, right? I like that little segment that Stephen A does. And so who's this? Who's R. Bill? You got to show me, man, who you are. I got to see you. If you want to come up, I got to see you on camera. Or, hello, can you hear me? If I can't see you on camera, I can't put you up, brother. Even though you could stay in the audience if you like, though. Okay. All right. So we're gonna share the first thing, Steven's A list. All right, so let's go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah! What's up, everybody? You know what time it is. It's time for the A-list. It's a good day today. It's a good day today. My man Shay's in studio. His girl Ashley's in studio. Jordan's in studio. That's his crew. That's his crew. They in studio with him. My nephew, his knuckleheaded son, Josh, he's in studio. Molly's in a good mood. Blue Eyes, Mr. Jeff Saturday's in the house. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's here. My man Dom's got my back. I know he does. Yeah. It's the A-list. Hey, it's the A-list. Here we go. Hold it. Keep in mind, the list is full. The list is full. Let's go to number 5 on the list, please, right now. Give it to me. Bam! The Pittsburgh Steelers, the leaders in the AFC North. Wow. Who put up 44 points, albeit against the Cincinnati Bengals. I understand that. But Russell Wilson.
Oh, give us your grades. We'll get you those in just a bit. All right, who wants to take it first? Reaction?
Go ahead. I like the response.
I want to hate this list. I got the exact same teams. I got the Steelers and the Chiefs. Where we differ, I got the Eagles at 3. I got the Bills at 2. I got the Lions at 1. But this is a hell of a list. Because I didn't think of it, I can't give you no A+. But that's an A list.
Okay.
That is an absolute A list.
All right, who's up next?
What you got?
All right. So I got 4 of the 5. So instead of the Steelers, I actually have the Vikings there. So I think the Vikings over the Steelers.
This Vikings.
I am. And yeah. And when you give up 38 points and you know, I think the Vikings offensive line to me is better than the Steelers offensive line. So I'm going to lean that direction. Now I think Wilson's playing better than Darnold, or they're playing by all parts. So I'll go there. My switch up here, though, I will tell you, because it's fluid. It's fluid. I have the Bills 1, the Lions 2, and the Eagles.
What? The Bills
won.
won.
The Bills
You have the Bills over the Lions and Eagles?
I do. Hey, listen, the Lions are banged up on defense. They're banged up on defense.
Lost another line.
And listen, I will tell you the truth. If I had to pick between the Lions and Eagles today, I'd pick the Eagles.
Yes.
So, but I'm only putting them there because of you said 10 games. I mean, that's ain't nothing easy about what they're doing.
So what is that, Jeff? Like a B- or a C?
It's probably B-.
B-.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Is
B-.
I'll give you a B. You know what? I'm feeling good because you're in the studio. I'll give you a minus for you in LA. I'll give you a B.
I think like the Lions with their issues on defense, those injuries are a problem that makes you not like them nearly as much as the Eagles are playing great on defense with that offensive line. We talked about this morning.
Yeah.
Becton and Dickerson in the middle of that O-line are real.
2 guards? That's what I'm talking about, me? Okay. Talk that O-line.
They 6'7". Those not guards. They tackle playing guards. The Bills are playing. They have like a 7-8 game winning streak. They're playing as well as anybody right now. The Chiefs have fallen down. Derek Shaw being out for the Vikings. I don't like them there. For the Steelers.
That's true.
That makes their O-line a little worse. So the Steelers, I think, are good here. I got a lot of problems with this issue. I mean, with this list.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say with the issue.
Yeah, I got a lot of issues with this list.
Okay.
However, it's a great list as well.
Yeah, you go full of shit. Yeah. I knew he was going to say that. And we stopped right there. I knew he was going to try to say that. And that's a decent list. I don't know how you could come up with a better list than that. It was pretty cool. So what's next? What do we have on the docket is next? Let me stop it there. And let's just check it out. What's on next? All right. Oh, yeah, this is a big one. This is the issue with the hit. You know, I saw the hit several times. We're going to play it here for a while, and the backlash that came out of the guy doing a little cheap shot. Of course, they kind of rubbed it in. I'm not so sure my man could have stopped before he hit Trevor Lawrence or not. But, you know, it looked bad. The optics were really, really bad. So let's just go ahead right to that and play with that so everybody can see the hit. Yeah, that was a pretty bad hit. All right.
Trevor Lawrence update. So Azeez Al-Shaair hit Trevor Lawrence in the head after Lawrence slid at the end of the 6-yard scramble late in the first half. Evan Ingram retaliated against Al-Shaair, and that sparked the first of 2 fights between the teams. Now, Jags quarterback Lawrence took to social media to update fans, saying thank you to everyone who's reached out, who's been praying for me. I'm home. I'm feeling better. It means a lot. Thank you all. Earlier this morning, Al-Shaair apologized to Lawrence via social media. Shay, talk to me.
Apology accepted, but that was a dirty play. I think the NFL is going to step in. I think they're going to suspend him for
it was right on the hairy edge,
1 game,
man.
probably 2. They're trying to get away from stuff like this. And I get him say, well, you know, sometimes we saw Patrick Mahomes, he stuttered and like he was going to go out of bounds and he take off and he gets him in field goal range. Trevor Lawrence in the middle of the field. The man goes to a slide, and what makes it so egregious is he does this.
Yep.
He leads with the forearm. And we saw the posture.
Targeted the head. Yeah.
That Trevor Lawrence laid on the field with.
Yeah.
This is what they're trying to get away from, Stephen A. John Runyon is not going to take kindly to this because they tried to protect the quarterback. And I don't know why they called the penalty on Evan Ingram. I don't know what the NFL thought he was going to do. Look, the forearm.
You gotta say something about the forearm. I mean, the forearm was there. It might be soft as hell, but if he would have just landed on top of him hard, but I think the forearm is the deciding factor.
So intent. People, I want you to understand, intent only matters to Al-Shaair.
Yeah.
Because Trevor Lawrence is still unconscious whether he meant to do it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to get suspended for a minimum of 1 game. I'm thinking possibly 2.
Yeah, I shout out to Evan Ingram because Evan Ingram was all over him. That like in that moment, going to protect his teammate. I agree. I think a suspension's on the table. I think a fine is on the table. I think the 2 things that stand out that everyone needs to understand is the main reason why, or one of the main reasons why we've gone as a league extreme to the quarterbacks and protecting them is we all want the elite quarterbacks to be playing. And also, moms and dads don't want their sons and daughters watching those injuries on the field because the 8-year-olds who watch the NFL grow up to be the 30-year-olds who watch the NFL. So if you're not, if it's...
Wait, okay, come on, Dan. Who gives a shit about daughters, man? Moms and dads don't want their sons and daughters to see what? I mean, please, just stop the bullshit, man. You know, nobody, it's football. You know, nobody does that just to hurt people and stuff like that where you got to be draconian and over dramatic. Moms and dads don't want their sons and daughters to see that. You know, that's why the whole country is getting pussified. Man, stop. It was a bad hit. Yeah, okay. But that's all it was. So he gets 3 games.
I wouldn't want my...
You know, he gets 3 games, and that's about it. So enough of that. I can't take any more of the bullshit. So he's going to get 3 games off, which is okay. You know, I can't really complain about that. I mean, he probably really needed to. You got to give him some kind of punishment, right? So that's what he's going to get. So we can't really start tripping over that. So what's next? I got something going on next. So let's go ahead and stop sharing this. I just wanted to show the hit one more time for people who haven't seen it for the 1,000th time. All right, so we're going into the playoff picture for the NFL. And it's still kind of early, but, you know, I mean, it's time to start looking at the playoffs and how it's shaping up. You know, I mean, of course, in the next 4 games, just about all of these positions are going to change, maybe except for the guys in first and second place. But this week coming up, there's some divisional games that everybody's going to look at. I'm going to highlight those later on. But, you know, so there's going to be a lot of changes between definitely at the lower end, wild card, or maybe all the way up to the, 4th and 5th place teams. So, stay tuned for a lot of changes. So, but I think we'll be tracking the playoff picture from this point on, so I hear you, man. So listen, from this point on, we could be, I dropped the link if you wanted to come up. We could play the playoff picture. I'm going to play a couple of minutes of this playoff picture here.
You know, they've long said they circle the wagons in Buffalo. What happens when Buffalo is the wagon? Looking like every bit of a potential championship player. Josh Allen and his team in the snow, taking care of business, taking down the 49ers in a lopsided Sunday night. All sorts of playoff implications in this one and elsewhere. Bryant McFadden here to assess what we saw, and we're going to start with those Buffalo Bills. Not yet, and I say yet, the 1 seed in the AFC, but when you're looking at the team that is, I think it's plain to see who's playing the better football right now. When you compare the experience to the Chiefs to the current execution of the Bills, what's worth more in your eyes?
Wow, I think the current execution, because to your point in terms of the experience, the Kansas City Chiefs in 2024 have a few new pieces that haven't really been through the gauntlet with them in years past in terms of winning a sticky Lombardi. So when you factor that into the equation, not to mention based on what we've seen, it's all about the here and now. Granted, the experience always means something, but right now, I love the execution in what I'm seeing from Buffalo because execution builds confidence, especially if you lack the experience like a team in the Chiefs in what they currently have. You want to have confidence, and you've beaten them already this season. So even if you go to Kansas City or if you have them at home in this hypothetical in terms of playoffs, you should be confident that you can get the job done. Now it's about going out and putting forth that effort for 4 quarters.
I would say it feels like a collision course between the two, but we got plenty vying for those top spots in the AFC playoff pictures. We take a look now at where they currently stand. The Chiefs, by hook or by crook, they got 11 wins. It was by...
All right, so here's a playoff picture right now. So you can see where the Chargers are. They have a big game against the Chiefs coming up. So if the Ravens are in 6th place, I kind of don't mind the Ravens kind of backdooring into the playoffs. I don't think they should be in any of the top spots. The last thing I'd like to see those dudes have is a bye. I think they need to play their way into the Super Bowl. That's just me talking. I really get nervous about that team when it has a bye. I'd like to see Lamar get there. So right now, he's definitely not the favorite to reach there in any way, shape, form, or fashion. They keep losing games. They play the Browns. No, they don't play the Browns. The Steelers play the Browns coming up, and I'm going to talk about that. Remember, the Browns beat them earlier in November. So as good as the Steelers are playing, they gave away a game to the Browns, and the Browns are coming back at them.
Snap here on the holiday weekend, that Black Friday mishap by the black and silver. The Bills looking like a whole wagon at 10-2. The Steelers, meantime, in a shootout nonetheless, taking care of business on Sunday. You look at that through the lens of the Ravens' loss and obviously the head-to-head with the Bengals. They just about backpedal out of the picture. Mac, nobody knows the North like you do. What it's going to take to get it done still has yet to be done for these Steelers, but got to be feeling good right now when you look at that space between them and the Ravens and what happened here on Sunday.
Yeah, you have to feel good in terms of the Pittsburgh Steelers because before today's matchup, you saw them taking the L to Cleveland. That was a winnable game, but you didn't get the win.
We're going through the playoff picture for a second, but
so now you allow the Baltimore Ravens to creep back in this conversation because the Baltimore Ravens lost today and the Steelers took care of their business. You create more of a gap of separation, which is needed because you would love to be able to win your division because that guarantees you a home playoff game. So that's the first part in terms of having postseason success. Winning your division so you can get the first game to come through your stadium.
Big result for Indianapolis, and we're going to take a look down at that 7 line to see what lies ahead of those 3 wild card positions. The wild card situation in the NFC, a little bit different as we take a look at that playoff picture now. We thought that it would be the 49ers again reigning supreme over this conference. Far from reality, and they are.
Yeah, man. So I want to stop it here on this one. And there's some good division games coming up this week. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of them during the end of the season. So like I said before, for Coach, that this is week 13. So we finished week 13. So next on Sunday, once we get into week 14, we're talking about the last 4 games of the seasons. You know what I'm saying? And so that's when a lot of things are going to change. So all of this wild card stuff, we can see it's going to be just massive rearrangements every week. So and of course the Falcons and the Seahawks are not safe. But look at the Vikings; they're 10-2, and they might not win their division, so they're going to be they could be 10-2, maybe 12 and 12 and what 5, maybe better than that. 14 and
13.
Yeah, they could win 13 games and still be just a wild card.
Yeah, NFC North is tough this year.
Yeah, man. Sheesh. Of course, and that's the way it's supposed to be, man. So do I. So I'm gonna stop sharing this for us, and then I'm gonna go right back to. So what's going on, man? Everything's cool.
Yeah, everything's cool, man. I was running late because I had to go to the dentist today.
Well, man, you guys take care of that, man. Next week I got a stress test I got to go to. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, go take care of it, man.
Yeah. Yes, it's it's routine with the rest of the stuff I had to do in the last month or so. Anyway, so here's the games coming up, and I call it week 14, but I think it's still week 13. Because Sunday will be all the 13 games.
Right.
Anyway, look at the division games. The Lions are playing the Packers. That's a good game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game.
Even the Falcons, Vikings, because the Falcons are actually in second. I think the Falcons might be in first place in their division.
Yeah, sadly.
Right? Well, sadly, right? And then you got the Seahawks playing the Cardinals. That's a division rivalry, right? They're right next to each other, so that's a game. And of course, they're at the Cardinals. The Falcons are at the Vikings. The Packers are at the Lions. The Chargers got to go to the Chiefs. They're first and second in that division.
No,
they're not going to overtake the Chiefs, but that's an important game for the Chargers.
But I've been saying for the last month or so is that football's pretty in the fall. In the spring, in the fall, when the leaves are still turning, it's a pretty sport, man. It's nice, and the weather's nice. You can sit outside with your sweater on at the game. Now, this is the real football. These last 5 weeks of games, it's
Right.
real football because the Chargers playing the Chiefs at the Chiefs, it's going to truly test the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? It's going to truly test them because
Well, you know what? It's going to test the Chiefs because they haven't really been playing that well.
but our pain, the
Yes,
weather,
sir.
the weather is the great equalizer.
Of course.
The teams that play in that soft, sunny weather, they can't handle that cold.
Nobody's going to forget the Chargers going out to play in that like sub 20-degree game, man. That was like years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago. Anyway, and then the Browns, the only reason why the Browns still is important because the Browns beat them already.
Yeah, Browns is tough.
They beat them. So that's when you play the division, no matter what their record are, it seems to always be tougher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. So what's next? Let's just keep it rolling. All right. So college football, of course. All right. So now we're looking at college football. So there's been some rearrangements in the top 10, especially at the lower end. But Ohio State dropped out of the top 4.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So they dropped out. Notre Dame took their place. And so this is what it looks like.
The juggernaut in that whole lineup right there is Georgia.
Oh, when they're playing, you think they're playing the best? Well, they got to crack the top 4.
I think that Georgia is always going to be a contender.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to match them with the bottom 6, 6 through 10, I think Georgia could take those teams. But I wouldn't want to see Georgia at all. Them first 5, top 4,
Yeah.
because Georgia, man, it seems like they've had a bad season, and they only lost 2 games.
Well, listen, it'd be nice to see if they got to crack. They got to crack 4 if they want to get a crack at Oregon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't think Oregon. It depends on where the game is at. If If it's in one of those, you know, nice.
Well, when you say that, when you say it depends, you mean what bowl game is that? I mean, what
the weather makes a big, even Texas, you know, if they keep them in the South, they have a greater chance to win. But when you start taking teams that play predominantly, you know, play all their games in the South and players are practicing outside with no sleeves on, it's a different game when that weather goes under 40 degrees. It's a totally different game.
Okay, so but these big bowl games, they usually find kind of mild weather places.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna have to do.
Right.
Find some mild weather.
You know, so yeah, it should be interesting. You know, let's see them against the big team. So here's the games this week coming up that people say that, well, that they say were the much watched 5 games in college football: Michigan, Ohio State. And these rankings are not AP rankings. That's why it's different than the AP. I don't know.
Did Michigan play Ohio State already? Who they play?
I don't know. I mean,
they played Ohio State already.
So maybe this is an old one. Yeah, see, you know, the guy, I should have looked at the date on the damn thing. You know,
Yeah,
maybe
I think they all played last week.
Yeah, I think there's. I'm looking at it. I think you're right. So
Yeah.
there you go.
That's why Ohio State moved down, and you know,
Yeah, they were number 2. Yeah.
Alabama.
So you get your. So there I go for not double checking. I'm just like the mainstream media now.
You good, man.
You know. Anyway, man, I always got to go through the top 10 basketball just for the hell of it, man, because that's all the basketball I'm checking out right now. It's like through highlights. I haven't really seen any.
No games.
Nah, man, I haven't really been tuned into the basketball just yet. And I will. I want to see the playoffs for the in-season tournament. I'm gonna really start catching it for that.
Yeah, they down to the final 8, I think now.
Yeah, I have it. I have the schedule for that.
At number 10 is SGA on display. Going up to Jalen Williams, and Jalen sailing around the rim and throwing that one in as the Oklahoma.
That shouldn't even be on the list.
Their magic getting in at number 10.
Yeah, that's the
Moving
GP.
to number 9, and Jamal Murray with a slick little backdoor cut up the gut, and he's going reverse with a burst. And watch his eyes; he knows he's got to get up in a hurry because Kevon Looney is right there. So Jamal took to the air and threw that one down at number 9. Up to number 8, and CP3 has never played with a guy like this. Just throw it anywhere in the vicinity.
Look at that.
And Victor Wembanyama is going to throw it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Tosses that one backwards over
And
his
one,
head,
man.
rocks the defenders to bed. He's in number 8.
That was nice too.
7, and look at Derek Jones throwing home. Norm Powell tosses it up, and Derek Jones gets the stop. That one is good for number 7. We're at number 6. He's lively by name, lively by game.
They just looking at him, man. They just look at those and walking into the paint and those guards.
All alone up there to throw it home at number 6. At number 5,
Oh,
there
what
he
a move.
ain't sharing this. Look at the fake pass with class here as Morgan Fenn goes the wrong way.
I think I used to do that in the 9th grade.
It's still a good move, man. That's why it still works.
We've been doing that since the 80s, man.
Forever. It still works. That's what I'm saying.
We're
Yeah.
going to get up off the floor. Casey Wallace explode to the rim. Casey. He tosses it in after that slick pass from Shea over to Kaysen Wallace, and this one gets in at number 4. Kaysen and the Thunder moving into the countdown again. Up to number 3, and Miles is the king of denials. RJ Barrett, that's a
I had to
bad
throw a block in there
idea.
somewhere.
Miles Turner turns on the afterburner, gets way up to block the stuff
That was a
there.
good block right
The
there.
southpaw spike was denied on this night. That's number 3. On to number 2, and put the junior on Jaron Jackson. It's Derek Lively stopping it right on
The
top
junior
of
on
his head.
Jaron Jackson. That's funny.
Gorgeous pass from Luka Doncic. That's in at number 2. But at number 1, it's a touch pass with class with Carl Anthony Towns. Mikael Bridges gets this to go down just for the half.
Is this a pass or this play up? It looked like a pass.
It was a pass.
Punch it over to
Yeah.
Mikael Bridges.
They say it was a pass. Some people say, man, my man was just, he was all
At
discombobulated.
number 1,
That's it. That was cool, though. That's cool. That's
Is
cool.
that what the NBA put for their top 10 so far?
Yeah, well, that was the top 10. Yeah.
Oh man, they got a
So
lot. Of work.
say what?
I said they got a lot of work to do for the rest of the season.
I was selling crack on a private.
We cut that off. All right. So let me stop sharing and share this back with you. Yeah, and go back to the forgot this thing is on automatic. All right. So there we go. All right. So this is the final, final standings for the in tournament season. So I it's funny thing when you look at this, right? Both Boston and Cleveland didn't make the tournament. They didn't make the tournament.
The Boston didn't make it.
Nope.
How come they didn't make it?
I'm gonna show you right here the way they finished.
They only lost one game. That's why.
Yeah, well, so they might have. Let's look at how they might not have made it because it depends on where you ended up, right?
Number two, I thought they took the top 2 teams from each little.
I think they take the top one and then they take a wild card, the best and the tiebreaker, whoever that is. And the Celtics probably lost a tiebreaker, right, to one of these teams in one of the groups. So here's the schedule. I'll show you the schedule coming up. See this? And I guess the United Emirates is sponsoring this thing because they got an Emirates NBA Cup. So they might be or Saudi Arabia or something looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mavericks play the Bucks. The Magic play the Bucks. And then the Mavericks play the Thunder. And then the next day, the Hawks play the Knicks. And the Warriors play the Rockets.
Okay.
Then they go into the semifinals. And then the finals are on the 17th. So both Boston and Cleveland didn't make it, which is surprising to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So there you go. So I guess they're focusing on the big thing. Okay. So LeBron, they say he's in some kind of career slump, right? So this is the first time in his career he missed 24 3-pointers in a row. Well, I think that is kind of unusual, but I mean, it's not a career slump, but it's a slump, whatever you want to call it. It's noticeable, right? So listen, man, I saw a clip on X where LeBron, I forgot who they were, the Lakers were playing the team, and for 2 to 3 minutes, both teams were throwing up bricks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit's clanging loud. Boom. I don't know if the guy was using sound effects or not. The ball was there. Boom. But they was throwing up bricks for 3 solid minutes. And nobody went inside. They were shooting 3-pointers, just clanging off the back. One guy shot an air ball. It was crazy. I said, man, what's going on? So there's some issues with the NBA, man. I'm telling you. All right.
Yeah.
So here's the standings where we are right now. So, look at that, man. The Warriors in a losing streak.
Yeah, they don't. At first, they had lost 2. They don't shoot.
They fell, man. They were in first place just like last week or 2 weeks ago.
A couple games ago.
Yeah, so it don't take many losses to really fall, man, in the West.
Oh no.
Look how many teams. Look how many teams are 8 and 9. Shoot, from 9 down to 2. It's like a 2-game spread.
You talking about from the West or the East?
On the West. Can you see? Oh, you can't see this?
No, I can see it. I mean
the West. Look at it. What I mean, look at the log jam in the West, in the loss column.
I'm surprised that the Nuggets are getting off to the start that they're getting off to.
Why are you surprised about that?
Because just Joker and them sort of, but I guess it's typical for teams that win a championship.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
for a couple years, everybody's still partying 2 years into it.
It's tough to get it. I mean, when you're a winner, sometimes you just got to get mentally back in the groove, especially when you accomplish the goal like that.
Yeah.
But and they've been on the top of the league for a while.
And okay, Arpain. So what you think about this? Go back to your lineup right there.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you a question about the Pelicans. Do you think it's time to blow that team up?
Yeah, I think here's what happened. I think what happened to the Pelicans, right? And I think it has to do with Zion Williamson, right? I think the whole team was really on a high when he lost all that weight, got in shape, and they thought they were going to be able to do something with a guy in full swing.
Right.
And I think as soon as he got hurt again, even if it wasn't due to his weight, I think it took the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, but they don't have no physicality to me. Everybody's shooting jumpers and wingmen.
Yeah, but it would have been different if he was going to be on the floor. He changed the whole scope of the team. Listen, I could be wrong, of course. I mean, I don't watch an overload of their games, but I think they made such a big deal of him getting in shape and being ready for this season.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went down early, man. And then ever since then, they've been on a slide.
That's because he be injured all the time because he be hanging out with them 304s and shit.
But you know what I'm saying. I mean, the real issue was everybody was blaming it on his weight.
No, I wasn't his weight for real.
No, but that's what everybody was blaming on the media. They were blaming it on his weight. I mean, I think people were buying into that. So, okay, he lost like 30, 40, 50 pounds, a lot of weight. So he's not in shape. I don't know if it's 304, but I bet you is what he's eating and drinking. I bet you ain't drinking like the water and all the supplements that you need to keep your. There's something wrong. He got some physical stuff wrong because it keeps hitting his hamstrings.
That shit. He up there drinking in my ties when he hanging out with no girl.
Whatever the hell he's doing, man.
Now, I'm surprised by the Rockets being number 2.
Why is that? They got Ime Udoka.
But they have a young team, though. So, it goes to show how good of a coach he was and how easy the coach had a team. It's like with the Warriors when Mark Jackson left the Warriors and Steve Kerr came into a championship-built team. Just the same as my guy in Boston. The team was ready for a championship.
The team was ready. And then they got my man Drew Holiday.
There you go.
You had to slick that in there.
Drew Holiday reminds me of Michael Cooper. Remember Michael Cooper for the Lakers?
Yes, I do.
So he could make the Hall of Fame.
Cooper's in the Hall of Fame, right? He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Cooper just made it. He just made it this past year. So
there you go. Because his numbers weren't all spectacular. He was just there.
No, I don't think he scored 10,000 points, maybe.
Yeah. All right, so of course I'm just.
Hold on, man. I see you ran over baseball, man. This is free agent season. Our pain. This is $100 million season.
What do you know about free agency? I don't know nothing about free agency.
Hey, man. I love baseball, man. I listen.
Who's the top? Who's the top? I mean, what's going on, man? Tell me something.
I think Soto is one of the guys, and pitchers. It's so many people moving around right now, man.
Right, so I'll check it out for next time, man. Because I just like if it's not in the season, I haven't been playing.
Yeah, everybody get y'all slow kids to go play baseball. Hand-eye coordination is a big thing. They can make $50 million standing down the outfield, fighting flies and butterflies.
Hide the eyes from the sun and shit.
No concussions. None of that. No knee injuries.
For 20 years. They could do it for 20 years. Yeah,
20 years.
That's funny, man. So I'll check out some free agency. I just haven't. Here's the NHL. Only thing I know is that the season's going on, and here's anybody interested. I mean, look at the parity in their league, though.
I mean, NHL. Man, let's tell you, hey man, salute to the hockey players, man. Salute, because you're skating at 30 miles an hour, and somebody check you up against the glass and forearm you. It's football on skates for real.
It's football on skates. They did curve. They did calm down the fights, because I remember I used to watch them in the fights where people just went to see the fights.
Yeah,
and then a couple of times it just got out of hand. Everybody out just slugging it out.
Yeah, I think they had some conversations in the offseason. Like, look, man, we can't keep beating each other up, knocking each
Yeah,
other.
not in the dichotomy of telling everybody else, about brutality, and then seeing two men just because they're men beating each other and say, well, they just need to blow off steam. It's just bullshit. They couldn't do that in football.
No.
So it's the same thing, right? Blowing off steam. So it was good for the goose. It wasn't good for the gander. And it actually was just as simple as black and white. So anyway, so the big three is still off. I think the women tried to start a big three league that kind of fell on his face.
I saw something with I saw something with what's her name?
Angel? The MVP. Who?
Angel Reese. I think Caden Clark, one of them, have invested in the whole league and things, trying to get.
Caitlin stayed away from. They offered her, but she didn't. She didn't bite.
Yeah,
she didn't bite. So I don't know if they started playing the game or not. But I don't know if it's in direct competition with the big three. But I think that's certainly where they got the idea. So all right, man. Okay, just a little trivia: the tales of a dumb jock and the Queen Finestress, Drea Michelle. So this guy, Tyrod Taylor, is, of course, the backup quarterback of the Jets, right?
Yeah.
All right. So he plays step baby daddy. Okay, she has three kids, right? The first guy is so nondescript, she doesn't even mention his name. The second kid is born to Orlando Scandrick, whatever his name, a football player. And then the third kid's with the young boy. But Tyrod Taylor takes her in with her two kids right before she moved on with the young boy. And he puts her in his house. And now he can't get her out.
That's his dumb ass fault. That's his fault.
Yeah, of course. That's why I say the tales of a dumb jock. And the Queen Finestress. That's my new word, Finestress. That's what it is.
No, it ain't no Finestress, Arpain. Listen.
What is it?
Listen, man.
Tell me what it is.
I better not see him on nobody's podcast talking about he's an alpha male. No, damn it. You ain't nothing alpha because you looked at everything all wrong. You put up, listen, Arpain, man. Listen, man. I done dated a lot of women, man. And I don't care how fine she was, how much money she had. It didn't matter. I wasn't going to fund her lifestyle at all.
At all.
You weren't going to get close to it. You might get a meal here and there, but you're going to cook for me a whole lot of times in between. But the fact that this guy
put up in his multi-million-dollar, I mean, of course, and he's made a little bit of money in his life. So the house it's not the house exactly, it's the principle of the matter. Right, so he puts her up in the house with her two kids. So he's playing step baby daddy.
Right.
However, he didn't even get a baby out of her, by the way. And so they break up, and now she's plugging this young boy who's making more money than he'll ever make, right, in his house, and he can't get her out.
But does he live in the house with her?
No, they broke up, so he's gone. But the deal was for her to get the hell out of the crib, so because it's still in his name. So she's squatting. She's actually squatting. She don't need to be there, but she's actually squatting in his house, and he has all the legal ramifications to get her kicked out. But even the cops came to the house, and she might have flashed a boob or something because the cops didn't kick her out.
No, the problem is this. And that goes for anybody listening. I don't give a damn how much you think you in love with the woman. If she ain't your wife, never move in with her. Never let her move in with you. Because once they establish residency by getting mail to your house, you can't do nothing. You got to go through a whole lengthy process.
Well, he's going through the process.
Once they start getting mail, it's on and cracking. My last thing. And if you got a baby by a woman and y'all live together, you better make sure you're getting some mail there. I don't give a damn if she on Section 8 or not. So when she start turning back, she gonna kick you out. You're a resident there. So if she want to get jazzy with the kids and don't want to give you custody of the kids and all this, tell her you're gonna go to Section 8. I'm going to Section 8 on you. I'm telling. I'll take the kids because I find me a place and you'll be out on the streets.
Yeah.
The streets.
Yeah, streets, not streets, but streets. Yeah. But you know, I mean, she's just finessing guys up here. So now she's 39, 40 now. And so she got the young boy and a new baby. So she'll be in his pocket until she's 60. So she's got like her
retirement
her life plan there set up.
Yeah.
You know,
salute to her.
So
Salute to her.
That's what I call a finestress, man. That's
No, Arpain, man. Listen, Arpain. Okay, first of all, Arpain, listen. These guys know who she is. They know who she is.
No. Even if Arpain know, man. Listen, if you know a witch is a witch, it's still your fault. But that doesn't mean that she's not a witch.
She can be a witch, but she ain't gonna be a witch in my property, on my house, and even in my man.
Well, you know, we ain't talking about you, man.
But that's anybody that has enough sense.
You and I both know that the men out there are dumb as hell. Let me tell you, and thank God I can say that I'm not one of them. Just like you're saying you're not one of them. You know that chick? There's a chick who made $43 million on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And one of the guys who's her subscriber paid her $4.5 million this year.
Ignorant.
One guy. So what kind of psychosis do you have to be to do pay for? I mean, of course he got money, but that's crazy. You know, anyway, so I just put this up here, man, as a filler. Rich Paul is, sports related to app. So everybody's making a big deal that he signed a prenup, right?
Why?
He's got money of his own,
right?
But you think even if they broke up, he's not coming after Adele's money.
No, but
he's just gonna move on. If they broke up, he'll move on. But it's a good idea for.
And this is where this is where brothers just be running their mouth,
right?
Because one, if this was a sister, brothers be going down her throat. Why she won't sign it? Then she talking about but look, he acquiescing to the pale face, and now he signs it. Listen, he signs it.
Yeah.
But like you said, he has his own money.
You got a lot of money too.
Come on, man.
I mean, let me tell you, you're right. We would be hearing some shit if she was like a black woman, and but he would have he would probably sign it with if she had a rich black woman. You know, I'm just thinking it's not a big deal.
I would sign a prenup.
So would I.
Yeah, I would sign. Yeah, go ahead. You take what you have because I'm good over here when you leave.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have some prenup over that night celebrating with me as soon as you get your last little. Matter of fact. While the truck is going to drop off the first run, guess what I'm doing? I'm packing up the rest of the shit. So they won't spend that much time.
What she needs to do is get back to singing. That's what she needs to do. All right, so okay, Stephen A. Smith can't leave without talking about this one. They're going to pay him $120 million. I think it's like a 5-year deal, 6 the most.
He gonna start coming down on the brothers if they give him that contract. He gonna be on the brothers' back.
Why you say that?
Man, come on, man. He gonna have to have. They gonna have some clauses in that contract. Like you better shut up and play. That's what they gonna tell him.
Shut up, Stephen A. and dribble. Hey man, let me tell you, man. The guy, he's so full of shit though. Sometimes, man. But. You can't hate on the brother, man. I remember in the early days when he was hanging on by a thread, he still was arrogant. And then he overstepped his bounds when the ESPN fired him the first time, and he was on an obscure radio show out in California. And I just happened to catch it. It was 710 something, him. I think even Max Kellerman was on that show at some point. So, and then he was just waking his way back until he got back with ESPN. Then he became a complete and total company man.
That's what he's gonna be here on out, brother.
And that's what he's gonna be from here on out. That's why he's got the bag. So he don't care. He don't got no pride. I'm getting the bag. I could go ahead and I'll swallow I'll talk about that shit after it's all said and done.
So don't be crying, brothers and sisters, when he over talking about how such and such should be getting the maximum penalty.
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna throw every black man under the bus that he can, man. No doubt about it. Man, he said, well, hey, man, good for him. All right, so we got the questions coming up, man.
Ooh.
What's up with my Ravens? What's happening with the Ravens? They don't look good at all.
Man, they out of sync. To me, it's just me. Being an offensive-minded player, coach, right? They get away from the run too early. They do. It's like if a team scores on the Ravens, it's like they get rid of their whole game plan and start passing the ball. And Lamar Jackson is not. He reminds me a little bit like Justin Fields in a sense. He can throw the ball, but what I'm saying is, you know how Russell Wilson gets a little air up on it and lets the receiver sort of get to the ball.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, he doesn't have that touch like Russell Wilson.
No.
And he typically overthrows his players, in the key moments of the game. But
I'm not going to give you no argument there. That's true. That's true. A lot of times, but the real point you're saying is, listen, he's a good quarterback, but you don't want to have him having to be the deciding guy too early and too often.
Right. Yeah.
Run the ball, man. You got this guy. I think they give up on him a little bit too early. Like you said, I agree with that. So what happened to the NBA's popularity? It's going down. I mean, this is the lowest it's been, I think, ever.
Yeah.
I mean, not ever, but in a modern era. So what could it be? What do you think it is? I got load management. People are, especially if you're talking about going to the games and then in some of the national games too, you really don't know who's playing from game to game.
Yeah. And
that's not good, man. I mean, especially when you're talking about just a few, if I'm buying, I don't need to go through the scenario, but if I want to go see, only got one chance to see Steph Curry, right? If I'm in the East, right? I'm only going to see him once. And if he doesn't play that game, but those tickets are at a premium.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, how could you do? I mean, that it's like you're ripping off the fans. And then if I'm a sponsor on TV, those commercials cost more money too, right? When those are premier games, so the league is grifting people if the players don't play, and the fines don't seem to be working the way they should.
Yeah, especially with the older players that've been in the league 10 years, done got their second big contract. They start taking days off.
Yeah. I don't agree with that at all, man. If you're still able to play, I don't care if you're old or not. Get your ass out there. That's people. You're supposed to be pleasing the fans. How about the style of play? I mean, they're just launching 3-pointers. What's the inside game? The mid-range, if it wasn't for DeMar DeRozan, there would be no inside, no mid-court players.
No mid-court. And if it wasn't for Luka, I mean, not Luka, but the Joker, it wouldn't be no inside play.
That's right. Two guys. Just two men. One is not even a superstar. And he's pretty much the only Tayshaun Prince left.
Yeah. And it takes away from the skills of the game. It does.
It absolutely does. So do we blame that on Steph Curry?
No, you can't blame it on Steph Curry. Shit, Steph Curry playing within the rules. You got to blame it on the people in charge of making the rule changes.
But
first of all, take away the zone, make it man to man again. Take away the zone. NBA used to be all man to man with no zone.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And
well, why did they switch that in the first place?
Because players got lazy, man. They won't play no defense. What you think? That's why they switched it. The owners is looking like we need to protect our players. They get too tired.
No. Those picks are hurt by guys, man.
But
free agency. How about player free agency? I think they changed some stuff on the cap where it's not as easy as it was when LeBron went to Miami.
I mean, players still get that big money, man. But if a team is willing to pay you, it's only, think about it, only a few people big names moved this year.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't
No,
think
but-
it's as easy. I don't think it's as easy to put 3 guys on the team that are going to the Hall of Fame.
No, you won't get that
Yeah.
probably ever again for real. But this is I think LeBron James, his time in the NBA, it's like everybody in the NBA now came up through LeBron James.
Right.
We came up through Michael Jordan.
Right.
We understood the dynamics of Michael Jordan. Get you on the court. He ain't your friend. He ain't hugging you.
Right.
He ain't doing none of that. He might not even speak to you. Tell you, take his 35 tonight. He might tell you that before the game. You're going to get 35 on you tonight. So get ready. Now, they hanging out, popping bottles together.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So
Lovey-dovey and shit, helping each other up off the floor, man.
This player still ain't talking that played 30 years ago, still ain't talking today in the
You
league.
damn right. There are some. I don't want to talk to that guy. That's funny, man. Oh, man. That way they ostracized my man who was the shooter. What the 3-point shooter from Boston? He just retired around 3 years ago. Light-skinned brother who hit those clutch shots. They got mad at him because he wouldn't take the deals. KG and those guys. Man, I can't remember his name right now.
I forget who you talking about.
He was a 3-point shooter, man. My man, he's a great. Actually, he's a Hall of Famer. He was on Boston Celtics when they won the championship. The 2 guard.
The 08.
Yeah,
the one in 04, 08.
Yeah, the 2 guard. My man.
You talking about 3 points?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, him. I know. I just blew it out your mind too. Him.
Yeah. I mean, come on, son. Guy. Linsworth Shuttles. What's it?
Yeah, just Shuttlesworth. Him. Yeah, I can't remember his name. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man, golly. But that guy, he was a great player. But this guy's still mad at him to today. And what about in the NBA? We're finishing up soon because I know you got to cut out. But the wokeness, that all those stupid liberal things that they put on their backs, that's turning people off now. So a lot of people don't like that, especially the people who pay for tickets. And
yeah, man. I mean, listen, man. If I went to an NBA game, man, listen, I want to see everybody on the roster. Be out there. I want to see you warming up. I want to see all that.
I hear you.
But I do like the way they made the change that if you don't play a certain number of games, you're not going to be an all-star.
I like that too. But and we didn't even have the time to get into what they changed the all-star format. Is absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, I saw that crazy shit.
And my idea, not my idea, but the idea of them having international against American players, that's all I could, that would make a competition. And let me get you a football, this last one. The coach of Chicago got fired.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Get rid of his ass.
How could he make that kind of mistake?
Man, listen, man. Chicago, if you ever listen, man, outside of Lovie Smith, and I think it was the coach that coached at Denver.
Okay.
Chicago gets all weak coaches. They coaches, it's like, I don't know, man. They look confused on the sideline every time they show them, man. From Matt Nagy, all of them just look like they lost on the sideline. And as a coach, you understand time management, first of all.
Yeah, my man in the back chat, R. Bill, he said it was Ray Allen. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, Ray Allen. Thanks, man. Yeah, we couldn't think of that shit for nothing.
So I told him he had to. I haven't seen him. I don't know if you came around here before, R. Bill. Next time I have to see you. I know Champ, so I let him go. Because I want people to be on camera. They could tell you how you doing. And so anyway, yeah. So he deserved to be fired. Hey, Champ, go Champ, man. You're a champion. You saw the link. I had the link in the thing as well. So I guess people didn't want to get up today.
It's all good, man. Yeah, let him go. It's gonna be a few more firings if coaches keep making bad decisions, man.
All right, so here's the boxing schedule is the same. I didn't add anything to it, so we got a good one coming up on the 14th. So it's a couple of fights this December, right around for the holiday fights, and then next year Benavidez fight. So it's pretty good on February. Other than that, man, that's it, man. Copyright disclaimer. Anything else? Any parting thoughts there, Coach?
Nah, man, listen, it's my last name, man. Listen, man, this is the last 4 or 5 weeks of football, man. For all you little warm weather team fans, listen, it's about to get ugly. So don't be crying when your team get in the cold. Start with the Dolphins and they start getting.
Man, you know what, man? My man, that's Ramsey. Man, shoot, Ramsey, you got to get up. Man, Ramsey, man, how come you ain't say that earlier, man? You know what, man, Ramsey, I swear, I never recognize the name. You usually have some kind of, I'm just tripping. How you doing, man? Can you hear me? He's on mute now. But anyway.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, man, you know what, man?
I did say Rams.
Did you?
Yes.
I didn't hear you. That's my problem. I didn't hear you.
All right, no problem.
I want to. You should have shouted, man. I would have left you in limbo the whole damn thing, man.
That's all right.
I'm saying to myself, man, who the hell is Ray? You know what, man? Because people get sniped on this thing.
Right. No, I understand.
That's why I told you, get an avatar, man. Put your face on the avatar.
You said I gotta see you, so I thought you had some kind of new rule or new regulation.
No, actually, I do have to see. But then Ferg came over here, but I know him for a long time. That's why I didn't give him. But I just did the name. I said, man, Bill. I'm tripping, brother.
No,
you gotta forgive me. No, so you heard the show all the way through.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, man, you're patient, man, because I thought you should have been slamming me in the chat.
Nah, man, that's all right, man. I figured you doing your thing, man. I'm multitasking too,
Yeah, that's cool, man. But I'm glad you came up, man. So anyway, man, we're chilling. We're coming to the end of the show anyhow, man. So this is my season 2 opener. And so here we go. So I got a full night. I got some other podcasts to get to and all that kind of stuff. But thanks for listening in, Ramsey. We need to talk anyway, man, because we need to talk some stocks and stuff. I'm going crazy, man.
Yeah, let's do that tomorrow, man.
You got it, man. Give me a call when you got free. You know where I'm at. All right, Coach, man. You going to the other show?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, yeah, can tell you. Thanks for stopping by as well. And Ramsey, man, I'm sorry, brother. Again, I profusely apologize. And Champ, I see you too. I'm surprised you didn't drop in, Champ, because he was here as well. But anyway, I did drop the link, so I don't feel that guilty. All right, man. I'll tell you guys. I'll see you guys later.
All right, later.
Bye. All right, Coach. We'll catch up.
All right, Payne.
All right.
Grab your friends, it's time to play. Join the fun, we're here all day. Watch the game with drinks in hand. On the swivel, let's take a stand. On the edge of our seats, we live for the thrill. In this moment together, we're feeling the chill. So here's to the laughter as we gaze at the stars. We say goodnight from the swivel at the sports bar. In the flicker of the screens where our spirits ignite, let's cherish this time as we fade into light. Tasty bites and big screen thrills. Every moment gives you chills. High fives and cheers, it's quite a sight. Join the crowd, it feels so right. As the game goes on, our hearts beat as one. Memories in the making, oh, this night's just begun. So here's to the laughter as we gaze at the stars. We say goodnight from the swivel at the sports bar. In the flicker of the screens where our spirits ignite, let's cherish this time as we fade into light. So good night, my friends, till we meet again. In this world